Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai.
Jai.
Om Agyana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namane. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Vanchakalpa Taruvyascha Kripa Sindhuvya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vranda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Please repeat after me. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Okay, so what did we see in the previous class? What's the story so far? What's the title of chapter 1 of Krishna book?
The Advent of Lord Krishna?
Yes, the advent of Lord Krishna. Very nice. So what has happened so far?
Kamsa has put Devaki and Vasudeva in the prison.
Yes, but before that?
Before that, the marriage was there of Devaki and Vasudeva.
Before that?
Bhumi Devi went to Lord Brahma.
Yes, Bhumi Devi went to Lord Brahma. Why?
Because she was very disturbed because of the atrocities that were happening on earth.
Exactly, yes. So then what did Lord Brahma say? Where did
Then
Lord
they
Brahma
went
go?
to Shira Sagar.
He went to Shir Sagar, where who resides?
Shiro Daksha Vishnu.
Okay, so then, did Lord Brahma speak to him personally, or did he receive a text message in the heart?
He received text message in the heart.
Yes, so what is the message that he received?
That the Supreme Personality would appear to kill the demons and establish the devotees.
Exactly, yes. And what was the instruction that the Lord had for Lord Brahma? That all the demigods should appear where?
Would appear on the earth to assist in
Yes.
all the like in those reputed kind of families.
Yes, exactly. And who would appear first before Krishna?
Balaram.
Balaram, yes, Balaram. Very nice. And also one more personality would appear. Who was she?
Durga Devi.
Durga Devi.
Yes, or Yogamaya. So Lord Brahma informed all this to Mother Earth, and then he returned to his abode. And then this thing happens where Devaki and Vasudeva are married and they are returning on a chariot, and then there is this voice in the sky. Devata actually informs him that Devaki's 8th son would kill him. And then did Kamsa put them into prison, or something happened before that?
No, after the first child, then he put Devaki and Kamsa and Devaki and Vasudeva in the prison.
Yes, Kamsa actually immediately when he heard this thing that was foretold, what did he immediately want to do? What was his first reaction? What he wanted to do immediately?
He wanted to kill Devaki immediately.
He wanted to kill Devaki, but then Vasudeva very diplomatically began to instruct him, and actually Vasudeva spoke very nice high philosophy. He was telling him how the material body must die and how the living entity transmigrates from one body to the other body. But then Kamsa was not convinced by this high philosophy. Eventually, what was it that Vasudeva said that convinced Kamsa not to kill Devaki?
That he would surrender all the kids to him.
Yes. He said that I'll bring my kids to you and you can do whatever you like to do. So then, yes, Kamsa's heart melted a little bit. And then he said he was sure that Vasudeva would keep his word. And then sure enough, when Vasudeva's first son was born, he took the child to Kamsa. Did Kamsa kill him at that time?
No.
No, he said that, oh, it's okay. You can take your son back because I am only concerned with Devaki's 8th son. Then what happened? Why?
Narada visited him and then he said that, how do you know that who's the 8th child of the Devaki?
So then, why did Narada do what he did?
Because he wanted to appear Krishna as soon as possible.
Exactly. And then Kamsa has put Devaki and Vasudeva in the jail.
Prison.
And then he killed how many sons of theirs? One after the other?
Six sons.
6 sons.
6 sons, one after the other, one each year he has been killing. Okay, so let's continue with today's session, chapter number 2. Who can read today?
Mataji, I'll read.
Yes, thank you, Shri Hari, Radha Mataji.
King Kamsa not only
Wait, hold on.
occupied the kingdoms of. Okay,
Hold on, one second, please hold on. Okay, can you all see?
Yes.
Okay, so chapter 2 is titled Prayers by the Demigods for Lord Krishna in the Womb. So when Krishna is in the womb of Devaki, the demigods come to offer prayers to the Lord because they know now that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is in the womb of Devaki. So let's see this. Yeah, now yes.
Okay. King Kamsa not only occupied the kingdoms of the Yadu Bhoja and Andhaka dynasties and the kingdom of Surasen, but he also made alliances with all the other demonic kings as follows: the demon Perlamba, demon Paka, demon Chanur, demon Tanavrata, demon Agasur, demon Mustika, demon Arishta, demon Devevida, demon Putna, demon Kashi, and demon Denuka. At that time, Jarasandh was the king of Magad province, known as the present as Bihar state. Thus, by his diplomatic policy consolidated the most powerful kingdom of his time under the protection of Jarasandh. He made further alliances with such kings as Banasur and Bhamasur until he was the strongest. Then he began to behave most immaculately toward the Yadu dynasty into which Krishna was to take his part. Hare Krishna.
So Kamsa has made these alliances with other demons, other strong personalities, and he is very inimical. He's very, he's not favorable towards the Yadu dynasty because he knows that Devaki's 8th child will be taking birth and will be killing him. So therefore, he's not favorable towards the Yadu dynasty. Now we will be seeing, as we read the Krishna book, the details of how these demons were killed either by Balaram or by Krishna, but not all of them were killed. Let's see. Which of these demons was not killed by Krishna or Balaram, but was killed by Bhim?
Can you give us a hint?
No, it's the name is there on your screen. You have to spot it.
Jarasandh.
Jarasandh, yes. Jarasandh was killed by Bhim, isn't it? Okay, and which was the first demon that Krishna killed?
I think Putana.
Putana, yes. Putana was the first demon that was killed by Krishna. What is the relationship between Jarasandha and Kamsa? How are they related?
Jarasandh was his brother-in-law.
No, not brother-in-law. But some other in-law. What was that? Who? What's the relation? So Kamsa's two queens, Ashti and Prapti, they were actually the daughters of Jarasandha. So Jarasandha was the father-in-law of Kamsa. Okay, which two personalities were wrestlers of Kamsa? And Krishna and Balaram had a wrestling match with them in Mathura. Who are the two names?
Is Mustika one of them?
Yes, Mushtika is one of them. And the other is?
Is it Arishta?
No,
No.
Agasura.
no.
Okay. We need your help.
Okay, anybody else wants to try? It starts with a C.
Charu.
Chanura and Mushtika, these are the two wrestlers. Which of these demons received special liberation? Vimukti. We know that there are 5 kinds of liberation we learned in the Gita classes. But beyond the 5 kinds of liberation, there is Vimukti, which is special liberation. Which of these demons got special liberation?
Was it
Putana.
No, not Putana. Vimukti. Who got Vimukti?
oh Tranavata?
No.
Not Tranavata, but oh.
It starts with the A.
Agasur.
Agasura, yes. Okay, and which of these names here was not killed at all, but was allowed to live because he was a devotee of Lord Shiva?
Banasur?
Banasur, very nice. Banasura had 1,000 arms, and Krishna cut off 996. He allowed him to live with 4 arms because Lord Shiva requested Krishna that please don't kill him, he's my devotee. Which of these names here on your screen was actually the person who had kidnapped 16,000 princesses, and then Krishna killed him and then married the 16,000 princesses?
Jarasan?
No.
He was a king, right?
Uh-huh.
Oh God, I don't remember his name, but I know who you're talking about.
Okay. Anybody else?
Everybody help.
Dushasan?
No, not Dushasan.
We have um,
He's also called as Narakasura. He's more popularly called as Narakasura, but here another name is there.
is it Baka? No, not Baka. Is it Denuka?
No.
Oh my.
Is it Keshi?
No.
Okay.
Dhenuka.
No. Who's left?
That's what. Pralamba. Pranavata.
No, it's Baumasura. Okay, here, this name here. Baumasura had kidnapped 16,000 princesses. Okay, and then eventually they became wives of Krishna. But anyway, as we advance, we will see in detail how each of these demons were killed and what's the pastime associated with each one. Okay, let's continue.
Okay, being harassed by Kans, the kings of the Yadu, Bhoja and Andhaka, dynasties took shelter in different states such as the state of the Kurus, the state of the Panchals, and the states of the known as Kaikaya, Salvaha, Vidarbha, Nishadha, Videha, and Koshala. Kamsa broke the solidity of the Yadu kingdom as well as the Bhoja and Andhaka. He made his position the most solid within the vast tract of land known at the time as Bharatavarsha. When Kans was killing the 6 babies of Devaki and Vasudev, one after another, many friends and relatives of Kans approached him and requested to discontinue this heinous activities, but all of them became worshippers of Kans. Hare Krishna.
So all these people who actually approached Kamsa and told him to discontinue performing or killing these babies and performing these grossly sinful activities, instead of them convincing Kamsa, they became worshippers of Kamsa. So this is what happens when we associate with non-devotees, when we associate with people with demoniac tendencies. If we are not strong enough, then instead of giving them our association, we take their association. So if we are not strong enough, then we should not take this risk. Sometimes for the sake of preaching, preachers may have to associate with non-devotees for the sake of preaching. But if we want to do that, then we should be able to give them our association and not take their association. In this case, they took association from Kamsa. So therefore, they also became worshippers of Kamsa. Next.
So, when Devaki became pregnant for the 7th time, a planetary expansion of Krishna known as Ananta appeared within her womb. Devaki was overwhelmed with both jubilation and lamentation. She was joyful for she could understand that Lord Vishnu had taken shelter within her womb, but at the same time she was sorry that as soon as her child would come out, Kams would kill him. At that time, the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, being compassionate upon the Yadus who were fearful due to the atrocities committed by Kans, ordered the appearance of Yogamaya. His internal potency. Krishna is the Lord of the universe, but he is especially the Lord of the Yadu dynasty. Hare Krishna.
So who is this personality who is now in Devaki's womb?
Balarama.
Balaram, isn't it? He's an expansion of Krishna, and he's a plenary expansion. This word plenary expansion, plenary means full. They have the same potency as the Lord. Balaram has the same potency as Krishna. So therefore, plenary expansion. So Devaki is both happy as well as she's lamenting. She's happy that now Lord Vishnu is in her womb, and she's very well aware of that. But she's sad because Kamsa is going to kill him. What name of Krishna means that he is the Lord of the universe?
Vishwarupa or something?
No, Lord of the universe.
Oh. What does it start with?
Janardhan.
Yeah.
Janardhan. Janardhan means Jan means living entities. So Janardhan means he is the shelter of the living entities, Lord of the universe. What is universe in Sanskrit?
Prakriti?
Jug.
Jug.
Jagannath.
Yes. Jagannath, exactly. So Jagannath, the word Jagannath means Lord of the universe. Very nice. And who's Yogamaya?
Internal potency of Krishna.
Internal potency of Krishna. And Krishna's external potency?
Maya, Mahamaya.
Mahamaya, yes. So there are two Mayas, Yogamaya and Mahamaya. Yogamaya is Krishna's internal potency, and Mahamaya is Krishna's external potency. We will see this in detail later. Let's continue.
Yogamaya is the principal potency of the personality of Godhead. In the Vedas, it is stated that the Lord, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the multi-potencies, Prahasyaha Saktirvivada Suryatehe, all the different potencies are acting externally and internally, and Yogamaya is the chief of all potencies. The Lord ordered the appearance of Yogamaya in the land of Rajbhumi in Vrindavan, which is always decorated and full with beautiful cows in Vrindavan. Rohini, one of the wives of Vasudeva, was residing at the house of King Nanda and Queen Yashoda. Not only Rohini but many others in the Yadu dynasty were scattered all over the country due to their fear of the atrocities of Kans. Some of them were even living in the caves of the mountains. Hare Krishna.
So we see how members of the Yadu dynasty are all over the country because they were all threatened by Kamsa. And Rohini, one of Vasudev's wives, is in the house of Nanda and Yashoda. How many wives did Vasudev have?
100 and something, 100 and oh my, a little help from everybody. 16,000 or something like that.
No, that's Krishna. Vasudev
okay.
had how many wives?
One wife. One.
No.
No, Vasudev had a lot of wives.
Mataji, is it 2?
No.
Mm.
More than that.
Mataji, would you like to help us with the number?
Okay, so Vasudev had 16 wives. Okay, 1-6. And when Vasudev married Devaki, he actually married all 6 of Devaki's sisters. So he had 16 wives. Out of his wives, Rohini was called as Mahabhaga. Mahabhaga means greatly fortunate. What is the great fortune that Rohini had?
Rohini was under the shelter of Yashoda and Vasudev.
Okay.
And she was the mother of Balaram.
Balarama.
Okay, so but what is the great Mahabhaga? What is greatly fortunate? What is the great good fortune that Rohini had?
Can you put your question in a different way?
Why is Rohini called Mahabhaga, greatly fortunate? Because yes, she's under the shelter, but fine, but there is something greater than that, higher than that.
Because she's the mother of Balaram.
Okay. And
And
she was able to raise both Krishna and Balaram together.
yes.
So that's why she is called as Mahabhaga, because she was able to raise both these personalities together. That's why she is called as Mahabhaga. Okay, so what else is happening here? Yes, here. So Yogamaya is the chief of all potencies of Krishna, and the Lord ordered appearance of Yogamaya in the land of Vrajabhumi in Vrindavan. So in whose womb has she appeared?
Oh, she's appeared in the home of Yashoda and Vasudev.
No,
Exactly.
Devaki.
No, because she took birth
Yeah,
from the womb of Yashoda,
yeah.
right, as Yashoda's daughter. Okay, let's continue.
The Lord thus informed Yogamaya under the imprisonment of Kamsa are Devaki and Vasudev, and at the present moment my plenary expansion Shesha is within the womb of Devaki. You can arrange the transfer of Shesha from the womb of Devaki to the womb of Rohini. After this arrangement, I am personally going to appear in the womb of Devaki with my full potencies. Then I shall appear as the son of Devaki and Vasudev, and you shall appear as the daughter of the Nanda and Yashoda in Vrindavan. Hare Krishna.
So what is the Lord instructing Yogamaya to do? He wants her to transfer Ananta Shesha or Balaram from the womb of Devaki to the womb of Rohini.
Rohini.
And then he says, then I will appear in the womb of Devaki. And then he wants her to appear as a daughter of Nanda and Yashoda. See, here we have a picture of Maya Devi receiving instructions from Lord Vishnu. And let's try to understand a little more about Maya Devi and Yogamaya. Yogamaya and Mahamaya. Let's read.
There are two kinds of Maya, Yogamaya and Mahamaya. Mahamaya is an expansion of Yogamaya, and both these Mayas are different expansions of the Lord's internal potency. Srimad Bhagavatam 4:16-2 purport. In the Vedas, it is said that the potencies of the Supreme Personality of Godhead are called different names, such as Yogamaya and Mahamaya. Ultimately, however, the Lord potency is one, exactly as electric potency is one, although it can act both to cool and to heat. The Lord potency acts in both the spiritual and material worlds. In the spiritual world, the Lord's potency works as Yogamaya, And in the material world, the same potency works as Mahamaya, exactly as electricity works in both a heater and a cooler. In the material world, this potency working as Mahamaya acts upon the conditioned souls to deprive them more and more of devotional service. Srimad Bhagavatam 10.1.25. Hare Krishna.
So Mahamaya takes us away from Krishna. Yoga Maya takes us closer to Krishna. Yoga Maya is working in the spiritual realm, and she is the one who deals with pure devotees. And Mahamaya is dealing with the conditioned souls, and she takes them away from Krishna. She deprives the conditioned souls of devotional service. So no devotional service means we are moving away from Krishna. That's why Yogamaya is Krishna's internal potency and Mahamaya is Krishna's external potency.
Okay, the entire creation, the two divisions, transcendental or spiritual and material. Yog Maya manages the spiritual world, and by her partial expansion as Mahamaya, she manages the material world. As stated in the Narad Pancharitra, Mahamaya is a partial expansion of Yog Maya. The Narad Pancharitra clearly states that the Supreme Personality has one potency, which is sometimes described as Durga. The Brahma Smita says, Chayavaha Yashyaha Bhuvanani Bivarti Durga. Bhag Bhagavatam 5.44. Durga is not different from Yogmaya. When one understands Durga properly, he is immediately liberated. For Durga is originally the spiritual potency, Haladni Shakti, by whose mercy one can understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead very easily. Radha Krishna Pranayaha Vikritir Haladni Shaktir Asmat CC Adi 1.5. The Mahamaya Shakti, however, is covering a Yog Maya of Yog Maya, and she is therefore called the covering potency. By this covering potency, the entire material world is bewildered. Yashya Samohita Jagat. In conclusion, bewildering the conditioned souls and liberating the devotees are both functioning, belonging to Yog Maya. Transferring the pregnancy of Devaki and keeping Mother Yashoda in deep sleep were both done by Yogmaya. Mahamaya cannot act upon such devotees, for they are always liberated. But although it is not possible for Mahamaya to control liberated souls or the Supreme Personality of Godhead, she did bewilder Kans. The action of Yogmaya is presenting herself before Kans was the action of Mahamaya, not Yogmaya. Yogmaya cannot even see or touch um, such polluted persons as Kans. In Chandi, in the Markandeya Puran, 11th chapter, Mahamaya says, during the 28th Yuga, in the period of Vishwahat, Vishwaswat Manu, I shall take birth as the daughter of Yashoda and be known as Vidhyachal Manshi. Srimad Bhagavatam 8.169. Hare Krishna.
Okay, so who's acting here in front of Kamsa? Who appeared here in front of Kamsa? Yogamaya or Mahamaya?
Mahamaya.
Yes. And who put Yashoda to sleep when the children were switched?
Yogmaya.
Yogamaya, isn't it? Because Yogamaya cannot touch or see polluted persons as Kamsa. So when it comes to devotees, it is Yogamaya, and when it comes to demons, it is Mahamaya who's acting. Okay, see this point here, very important, where we read, when one understands Durga properly, he is immediately liberated, for Durga is originally the spiritual potency, by whose mercy one can understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead very easily. So you see, because the living entities are coming from the womb of Durga at the dawn of creation, therefore she is considered to be the mother of the universe. And a mother always wants her children to do well, isn't it? The mother is the well-wisher of her children. But because Mahamaya is assigned the service of testing the sincerity of the souls, therefore she brings in several tests and checks the sincerity. And those who are not sincere will not be able to pass a test. They move away from Krishna. So she bewilders the conditioned souls. But what is her heart's desire? As the mother of the conditioned entities, she also desires that, yes, one must take to bhakti, one must take to Krishna consciousness and go back home, back to Godhead. But unfortunately, people do not understand Goddess Durga properly. They misunderstand. And therefore, we are becoming bewildered and moving away from Krishna, because that is the service assigned to her. And she does her service to perfection. Okay.
Since you will appear as my contemporary sister, and since you will quickly satisfy desires for sense gratification, people within the world will worship you with all kinds of valuable presentations, incenses, candles, flowers, and offerings of sacrifice. People who are after materialistic perfection will worship you under the different forms of your expansions, which will be named Durga, Bhadrakali, Vijaya, Vaishnavi, Kumata, Chandika, Krishna, Madhavi, Kanakaya, Maya, Narayani, Ishani, Sharda, and Ambika. Hare Krishna.
So see, we are just reading this when Navratri is going on. Just see the arrangement of the Lord. So why does Durga quickly satisfy desires for sense gratification?
Because she's booned by Krishna. Because she
Yes.
did Krishna's service and she became his sister, so he gave her a boon that now you will be worshipped by all who are materialistic perfection. They want materialistic perfection, so they will worship you.
Yes, exactly. And she also quickly satisfies the desires. Why? Because by engaging in sense gratification, what do? We move away from Krishna, and that is the service that is allotted to her. So Durga is actually Krishna's sister. Let's continue.
Okay. Krishna and Yogamaya appeared as brother and sister, the supreme powerful and the supreme power, although there is no clear distinction between the powerful and the power. Power is always subordinate to the powerful. Those who are materialistic are worshippers of the power, but those who are transcendentalist are worshippers of the powerful. Krishna is the supreme powerful and Durga is the supreme power within the material world. Actually people in the Vedic culture worship both the powerful and the power. There are many hundreds and thousands of temples of Vishnu and Devi, and sometimes they are worshipped simultaneously. The worshippers of the power Durga or the external energy of Krishna may achieve all kinds of material success very easily, but anyone who wants to be elevated transcendently must engage in worshipping the powerful in Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna.
So what is important is how much material success we attain very easily, because what happens, death snatches everything away from us. No matter how highly qualified we may be, how highly educated we may be, how talented we may be, how materially successful or famous we may be, or how beautiful we may be, everything is going to be reduced to zero at the time of death. How much we are going to advance transcendently, how much we are going to advance spiritually, that is what matters, because that we are going to carry on to our next lifetime. So when we worship the powerful, then we can advance spiritually. But when we worship Durga or the external energy of the Lord for material success, then it will only keep us in the cycle of birth and death for that much longer period of time.
The Lord also declared to Yogamaya, my plenary expansion, Ananta. Shesha is within the womb of Devaki, one on the account of being forcibly attracted to the womb of Rohini. He will be known as Sankarshna and will be the source of all spiritual power, or Bala, by which one can attain the highest bliss of life, which is called Ramana. Therefore, the plenary portion Ananta will be known after his appearance either as Sankarsna or as Balram. Hare Krishna.
So Sankarshan is a combination of two words, Samyak and Karshan. Karshan actually means attracting, because Akarshan, no, it's coming from there. And Samyak means fully or completely. And because he was attracted to the womb of Rohini, he is called as Sankarshan. So another name of Lord Balaram is Sankarshan. In modern science, is this possible to transfer an embryo from one womb to another womb?
No,
It's not possible, isn't it? How far has surrogacy gone?
surrogacy has gone. It can produce a child from the father's sperm, but it cannot transfer from one womb to another. But it can, yes, produce a child.
Yes, the intended mother or the egg, no, they need a donor. They need someone to donate the egg and someone to donate the sperm, and then it is fertilized, isn't it? But a fertilized embryo cannot be transferred from one womb to another womb. But this technology was already known 5,000 years ago. Okay.
In the Upanishad, it is stated, Namaya Atma Bala Hinena Labhaya. The purport is that one cannot attain the supreme platform of the self-realization without being sufficiently favored by Balram. Bala does not mean physical strength. No, one can attain spiritual perfection by physical strength. One must have the spiritual strength which is infused by Balaram or Sankarshna. Ananta or Shesh is the source of the power which sustains all the planets in their different positions. Materially, this sustaining power is known as the law of gravitation, but actually it is a display of the potency of Sankarshna, Balram, or Sankarshna is the source of spiritual power or the original spiritual master. Therefore, Lord Nityananda Prabhu, who is also the incarnation of Balram, is the original spiritual master. And the spiritual master is the representative of Balaram and the form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead who supplies spiritual strength. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is confirmed that the spiritual master is the manifestation of the mercy of Krishna. Hare Krishna.
So one cannot attain the spiritual platform without the favor of Balaram.
Ram or Nityananda.
Yeah, Bala means physical strength. I'm sorry, Bala means spiritual strength, not physical strength. So in the Chaitanya Leela, Lord Krishna came as Lord Chaitanya and Balaram came as Lord Nityananda. And we cannot get Lord Chaitanya without the mercy of Lord Nityananda. Who is the representative of Lord Nityananda or the representative of Balaram for us in flesh and blood?
Is it the Guru?
Yes, the spiritual
Krishna,
master.
Krishna.
The spiritual master is a representative of Balaram or the representative of Lord Nityananda. So without the mercy of the spiritual master, we cannot get Krishna. Next.
Thus ordered by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Yogamaya circumambulated the Lord and then appeared within the material world according to his order. When Yogamaya, the supreme power of the supremely powerful personality of God, had transferred Lord Shesha from the womb of Devaki to the womb of Rohini, both Devaki and Rohini were under Yogamaya's spell, which is called Yoga Nidra. When this was done, people thought that Devaki's seventh pregnancy had been miscarriage. Thus, although Balram appeared as the son of Devaki, he was transferred to the womb of Rohini to appear as her son. After this arrangement, the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, who is always ready to protect his unalloyed devotees, entered within the mind of Vasudeva as the Lord of the whole creation. With full inconceivable potencies, it is understood in the connection that Lord Krishna first of all situated himself in the unalloyed heart of Vasudeva and was then transferred to the heart of Devaki. He was not put into the womb of Devaki by seminal discharge. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, by his inconceivable potency, can appear in any way. It is not necessary for him to appear in the ordinary way by semen injection within the womb of a woman. Hare Krishna.
Okay. So there is this joke on the internet that why did Kamsa put Devaki and Vasudeva in the same jail if he knew that their eighth son is going to kill him? This is the answer from the Shastra for them. Krishna was not conceived the way children are conceived now in the modern day world. Krishna was transferred. How was Krishna transformed to the womb of Devaki?
Through the heart. First he came in the mind of Vasudeva, then he transferred himself in the heart of Devaki.
Yes. So this is how Krishna was conceived. So the Lord can appear in any way. He doesn't have to, even if Kamsa had put them in different jails, still Krishna would have appeared. Okay. Okay, here, one second, I'm sorry. So this transfer of Lord Shesha from the womb of Devaki to Rohini, we are going to read about that now from the Srimad Bhagavatam. Let's read.
The real story of what happened after Yogamaya attracted the child of Devaki into the womb of Rohini in the 7th month of Rohini's pregnancy is described as follows in the Hari Vamsha. At midnight, while Rohini was deeply sleeping, she experienced as if in a dream that she had... Oh, did I skip something?
No, you're fine.
Okay. That she had undergone a miscarriage. After some time, when she awoke, she saw that this had indeed happened, and she was in great anxiety. But Yogamaya then informed her, "Oh, a sumptuous lady, your child is now being replaced. I am attracting a child from the womb of Devaki, and therefore your child will be known as Sankrishna." Srimad Bhagavatam 10:15. In regard to Lord Krishna's appearance in the womb of Devaki, Brahma played a part also because on the bank of the milk ocean he requested the Supreme Personality of Godhead to appear. A part was also played by Baladev, the first expansion of Godhead. Similarly, Yogamaya, who appeared as the daughter of Mother Yashoda, also played a part. Thus, Jiva Tattva, Vishnu Tattva, and Shakti Tattva are all integrated with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and when Krishna appears, he appears with all his integrated parts. Srimad Bhagavatam 10:9. Hare Krishna.
So here we see the story behind how Rohini was 7 months pregnant when she had a miscarriage, and then Balaram was placed in her womb. So the child in her womb was replaced. And here we see how Jiva Tattva, Vishnu Tattva, and Shakti Tattva, all of them are integrated in the appearance of Krishna because they all played a role. Who was a Jiva Tattva who played a role in the appearance of Krishna? Jiva Tattva means living entity. Who's the first created living entity?
Brahma.
Lord Brahma, isn't it? Because we saw in the previous class how Mother Earth, she goes, Bhumi Devi goes to Lord Brahma, and then Brahma prays. And therefore, Lord Brahma has a role to play in the appearance of Krishna. Who was a Vishnu Tattva?
Baladev.
Yes, Baladev, because Baladev came before Krishna in the womb of Devaki. And Shakti Tattva?
Yogamaya.
Yogamaya, isn't it? Because she was the one who transferred, who did the transferring of the embryo, and also it was she who appeared before Kamsa. It was Mahamaya, and then it was she who put Yashoda to sleep when the children were switched. So Jiva Tattva, Vishnu Tattva, and Shakti Tattva, all these three tattvas are integrated when Krishna appears. Okay, let's go back to Krishna book here.
When Vasudeva was sustaining the form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead within his heart, he appeared just like the glowing sun, whose sharing rays are always unbearable and scorching to the common man. The form of the Lord, situated in the pure unalloyed heart of Vasudeva, is not different from the original form of Krishna. The appearance of the form of Krishna anywhere, and specifically within the heart, is called Dhamma. Dhamma refers not only to Krishna's form, but also to his name, his qualities, and his paraphernalia. Everything becomes manifested simultaneously. Thus, the internal form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead with full potencies was transferred from the mind of Vasudeva to the mind of Devaki, exactly as the setting sun's rays are transferred to the full moon rising in the east. Hare Krishna.
So see here it is mentioned that Krishna was transferred from the mind of Vasudeva to the mind of Devaki. But previously we read, okay, where is that? That Krishna was transferred from the heart of Vasudeva and then he was transferred to the heart of Devaki. So here it says heart and here it says mind. How are we going to reconcile this?
I think it's similar. The mind and the heart is similar
Okay, how?
because Krishna resides in the heart of all. And then first when Krishna appears, then he talks in the mind of his devotees, then he appears on the heart.
Okay, anybody else wants to give a different perspective?
Please, everybody, speak your mind. Give your opinion. Talk.
Where is the soul situated?
Soul situated is in the heart.
And what is the first covering of the soul?
Oh, I don't remember that.
The soul is covered by here in the material world.
Maya?
No, Maya, but if we have to talk about the body,
Illusion?
conditioned soul means there is a body, right? So
Yeah.
how many kinds of bodies are there?
Stool body and gross body.
Subtle body and gross body.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So the subtle body is made of what?
Mind, ether or something. Mind, ego or something.
Okay, who knows the three elements of the subtle body? We learned in the Gita.
Air, ether, fire.
What's that, Shivani?
Yeah.
Air, ether, fire, she said.
No. Those are elements of the gross body. The gross body is made of 5 elements and the subtle body is made of 3 elements.
Is it breath, intellect, and mind?
Yeah, subtle body is made of mind. And what is that? I didn't get your Tejas.
Breath and intellect.
Okay. Mind, intelligence, and
Breath,
Ego?
breath.
what's
False
that?
ego. False ego.
False ego.
False ego. Yes. Mind, intelligence, and false ego are the components of the subtle body. And what are the 5 components of the gross body?
Ether, fire, earth, all the elements that the body and the world is made of.
Yeah.
Air,
Water. Yeah. The 5 gross elements are the air, water, fire,
earth, and
earth,
fire.
Yes, exactly. So because the subtle body is made up of mind, intelligence, and false ego, so mind is an element of the subtle body, and the subtle body is covering the soul, and the soul is in the heart. So therefore, when we say mind in spiritual understanding, it means the heart. There is no difference because in the heart is the soul, and the soul is covered by the subtle body, and one of the elements of the subtle body is the mind. So therefore, we understand this statement. Okay, next.
Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, thus entered the body of Devaki from the body of Vasudeva without being subject to any of the conditions of an ordinary living entity. Since Krishna was there, it is to be understood that all his plenary expansions such as Narayana and incarnations like Lord Narasimha and Varaha were within him. And they also were not subjected to the conditions of material existence. In this way, Devaki became the residence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is one without a second and the cause of all creation. Devaki became the residence of the Absolute Truth, but because she was confined within the house of Kans, she looked just like a suppressed fire or like misused education. Misused education. When fire is kept in a jug, the illuminating rays of the fire cannot be very much appreciated. Similarly, misused knowledge, which does not benefit the people in general, is not very much appreciated. So Devaki was kept within the prison walls of Kansa's palace, and no one could see her transcendental beauty, which resulted from her conceiving the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Hare Krishna.
So when Krishna appears, then all the plenary expansions are within him. And Devaki is now glowing because the Supreme Personality of Godhead is now in her womb. Okay, where is that line? Yeah, Krishna is one without a second. So Lord Brahma, in the Brahma Samhita, he prays, no? And he says, Anadir Adir Govinda. Anadir Adir Govinda means he is one without a second. There is only one God. There is only one Supreme Personality of Godhead. A country can have only one president. He can have many ministers. So Lord Krishna has other personalities for the administration of the universe. But Supreme Personality of Godhead is one without a second. And cause of all causes. Sarva Karana Karanam. Lord Brahma says in the Brahma Samhita. Cause of all creation. Or he's the cause of all causes. So Krishna doesn't come from somebody else. Everybody else comes from Krishna. Yeah, Shivani, you raised your hand. You have something to say?
I have a question, Mataji.
Yes.
Few minutes ago, when you said that Guru, one has to have a Guru to go to Godhead, right? To go to Krishna.
Yes.
So what if people have, but there are people who don't have Guru, who are following Bhakti Marg. So does that mean until a Guru comes in their life, birth after birth, they will not attain Godhead?
Yes, see, there is
No
only,
possibility.
if you see the Bhagavatam and the histories in the Bhagavatam, can you think of any history where somebody has gone back to Godhead without the grace of the spiritual master?
So what about Bhishma? Did he have a spiritual master?
Yeah, Bhishma Dev also had a guru, no? Parashuram was his guru. So by the mercy of Krishna, we get the spiritual master. With the mercy of the spiritual master, we get a guru. If one is sincere, you said that if somebody is doing devotional service but doesn't have a guru, the question that has to be considered here is, why has this person not accepted a bona fide guru? If the person is sincere, see, when we are sincere, Krishna will automatically send us a bona fide guru. This is how the system works. If we are sincere, then Krishna will automatically send us a guru. And if we hesitate to accept the person as a guru, then what is the reason behind this? This is something that we have to contemplate on. Are we hesitating to take the vows of initiation? Are we not? Because see, when we accept a guru, then we are taking a subordinate position. So are we not being humble enough to accept somebody's dominance in our spiritual life, to take instructions from someone? Because the guru's instructions become the life and soul of the disciple. So are we not surrendered enough for coming to that stage of accepting the instruction of the guru and making the instruction our life and soul? So a lot depends on what is the reason for a person to not accept a. If one is sincere and he's sincerely engaging in devotional service, then definitely Krishna will send us a bona fide guru.
There are a lot of people also who don't know that. Who knows? Okay, if we do our karam, we do bhakti full-heartedly. They don't know that they're supposed to accept Guru. I didn't know that till I, came to Krishna consciousness. So what about those kind of people? They'll
So
keep taking birth.
how does one come to bhakti without having the guidance of a guru? How will that happen? How does one know? How does one know?
Devotees.
The mercy of
Devotees, pure devotees.
Yeah, so the mercy of the devotees. So those devotees are in some way guiding us, no? Because they taught us, this is the bhakti marg. They taught us how we have to engage in bhakti. We learn from Prabhupada. He's our preeminent Shiksha Guru. And the Shiksha Guru or the devotees in their teachings also include that we must accept a bona fide spiritual master. It's there in that teaching. When we learn bhakti from other devotees, we also learn that bhakti means to also accept, to do these devotional services under the guidance of a bona fide spiritual master. It's there in that teaching of the devotees also.
Okay, thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Mataji, can I add something to this sentence?
Yes.
As soon as you chant Hare Krishna, you have a guru, and your guru is Prabhupada and Nityananda. And Nityananda has said, whoever sincerely chants Hare Krishna Mahamantra, I will personally come and take him to Krishna Loka.
So then what is the meaning of having a guru parampara and accepting a
And then Guru
Diksha Guru?
Parampara is like, would they come in your dream and they say, now you're ready to get initiated, and then you get initiated.
Is that what Prabhupada has taught us?
No, Prabhupada has taught us to sit in the Havan and then he initiates us and he makes us chant. But whoever like is sincere and he wants Guru now, so Prabhupada guides them and Prabhupada takes them to the Guru and shows them that this is your Guru, whoever is chanting Hare Krishna.
Yes, exactly. So the point is we have to accept a living person as our Diksha Guru. If
That
we
will-
just say that Prabhupada will guide us and Nityananda will guide us, but how do we know that these personalities have accepted us as their disciples?
Yeah,
It's a
that will
two-way
also come
process.
about wherever there's sincerity and seriousness, that will also come about. It's always a time and a place where this is set up, and in that time and place, Prabhupada ji will direct us.
Yes, definitely. If Srila Prabhupada is going to direct, see, it's like electricity, no? Guru Parampara is like these different cables that are connected. So if we are connected to a living Diksha Guru who accepts us as a disciple, then he is our connecting link to Srila Prabhupada. And Srila Prabhupada is our connecting link to the other acharyas in the disciplic succession. But if we do not accept a Diksha Guru, a living person, as our spiritual master, then how are we going to connect to the disciplic succession? How are we going to connect to the Parampara?
We will be guided and we will be accepted in the due time course. We just have to wait and sincerely chant and do and progress in that way. And then
Yes.
Prabhupada will give us in a guideline in the dream, or some devotees will just present in front of us and they'll say that this is your guru and you go. Like Prabhupada was going to go and get initiated by Saraswati Goswami Maharaj, but he was hesitant and he wasn't going because he had seen a lot of gurus before that and they were bogus. So someone actually came and took him forcefully. Let's go, let's go, let's go. And then he went and then he sat there and he got to know him and he got initiated. So the same way, when the time is right, everything will just take place.
Yes, exactly. That's what I said. If one is sincere, then Krishna will send you a guru. The arrangements will be made and Krishna will send you a guru. But we have to accept a guru also, because remember, we also have our free will.
Yeah, Prabhupada also says, don't worry about these little things. Just chant Hare Krishna and everything will happen.
Yes, yes. Okay.
Thank you, Mataji. Both of you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, let's read this question.
Already. In this connection, one may ask how the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is always situated transcendently, could enter the womb of Devaki, which had previously been entered by the 6 asuras, the Sadgarbhas. Does this mean that the Sadgarbha asuras were equal to the transcendental body of the Supreme Personality of Godhead? No.
So these 6 children who were born to Devaki and killed by Kamsa, they were actually asuras and they are called as Sadgarbhas collectively. And the question here is, they have come in the womb of Devaki and Krishna is also appearing in the same womb. So how come the Supreme Personality of Godhead is appearing in that place where the 6 asuras have appeared? How to answer this question?
Can you change your question, put it in a different way?
The question is, how come Krishna has chosen to appear in the same place where the 6 asuras or demons have appeared?
Isn't the Leela God's Leela?
Which Leela? So what has happened between the appearance of the 6 asuras and the appearance of Krishna in the womb of Devaki? So what has happened in between?
She had miscarriages. Not miscarriages, but Kans killed her babies.
Yeah, so the question is, what happened between these 6 asuras who appeared and the appearance of Krishna in the womb of Devaki?
Balaram was transferred.
Balaram has appeared. Yes, Balaram has appeared in the womb of Devaki. So what does that signify?
Oh, he purifies. He purified it.
Exactly. He purifies the place so that
Hmm.
Lord Krishna can now appear. Okay. Very nice. Excellent, Shivani. Let's read.
In this connection, one may ask how the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is always situated transcendently. Oh, did I read that already?
Yes. Only the answer we
Okay.
need to read.
A pure devotee is always transcendently situated because of executing 9 different processes of bhakti yoga. Savarnam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Sharanam, Sevanam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakhyam, Atma Nivedanam. Thus, devotional service a devotee although in the material world is not in the material world, yet a devotee always fears. Because I am associated with the material world, so many contaminations affect me. Therefore, he is always alert in a fear, which gradually diminishes his material association. Symbolically, Mother Devaki constant fear of Kans was purifying her. A pure devotee should always fear material association, and in this way, all the asuras of material association will be killed. As the Sadgarbha Suras were killed by the Kans. It is said that that form of the mind, Marichi, appears. In other words, Marichi is an incarnation of the mind. Marichi has 6 sons, Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, and Matsarya, lust, anger, greed, illusion, madness, and envy. The Supreme Personality of Godhead appears in pure devotional service. This is confirmed in the Vedas. Bhakti Revanam Darshayanti. Only bhakti can bring one in contact with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Supreme Personality of Godhead appeared from the womb of Devaki, and therefore Devaki symbolically represents bhakti, and Kam symbolically represents material fear. When a pure devotee always fears material association, his real position of bhakti is manifested, and he naturally becomes uninterested in material enjoyment. When these 6 sons of Marichi are killed by such fear, and one is freed from material contamination within the womb of bhakti, the Supreme Personality of Godhead appears. Thus, the 7th pregnancy of the Devaki signifies the appearance of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. After the 6 sons, Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, Mad, and Matsarya are killed, the Shesha incarnation creates a suitable situation for the appearance of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In other words, when one awakens his natural Krishna consciousness and Lord Krishna appears, this is the explanation given by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Srimad Bhagavatam 10:2-8, purport. Hare Krishna.
So let's try to understand this analogy. Mother Devaki's constant fear of Kamsa was purifying her. In the same way, a pure devotee always fears material association, and that will purify the mind. Okay. Now it is said that from the mind, Marichi appears. Now, what is the connection between the mind and Marichi? Who can say? Who was Marichi? The son of?
Maharaji is the mind. He's the father of the 6 sons of Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, Mad, and Matsarya, lust, anger, greed, and illusion, and madness, and envy. And he's the mind. He's the incarnation of the mind.
Okay, but why is he considered to be the incarnation of the mind?
He was born from the mind of Brahma.
Exactly. He is Brahma's mind-born son or Manasa Putra of Lord Brahma. Okay, so that's why Marichi represents the mind. And he had 6 sons. These 6 sons of Marichi in the previous lifetime were the these Sadgarbhas or the 6 children of Devaki in a previous lifetime were the 6 sons of Marichi. And they represent these 6 enemies of the mind. Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Madha, Matsarya. These are the 6 enemies of the mind. Okay. So what happened was, because Lord Brahma was attracted to his own daughter, these 6 sons of Marichi made fun of Lord Brahma. Now we should not misunderstand Lord Brahma for this act. Srila Prabhupada explains that how the Lord chooses his devotees to teach us a lesson. Okay, so this was the lesson that was taught to the conditioned souls from this act of Brahma was that even a personality like Lord Brahma can be bewildered by Maya. So that's why we must be so much more careful, because where are we compared to the exalted position of Lord Brahma? Okay, so anyway, this was the lesson that Krishna taught us through Brahma. So we should not misunderstand Brahma for this activity. Anyway, coming back to our story, not story but history. Marichi's 6 children made fun of Lord Brahma, and therefore they were cursed to appear in the family of a demon. And therefore, in the next lifetime, they were born as the 6 sons of which demon? What's the name of Kamsa in his previous lifetime? Kamsa in his previous lifetime was a demon called
Hiranyakashipu?
Kalanemi. No, Kalanemi. Okay. So they appeared as the 6 sons of Kalanemi. Now these 6 sons of Marichi, who have now come as the 6 sons of Kalanemi, what has happened is they choose to override the instruction of Hiranyakashipu, because Hiranyakashipu is their grandfather. Hiranyakashipu is the grandfather of the sons of Kalanemi. And Hiranyakashipu wanted everyone to worship him as God. But these 6 sons, they were worshipping Lord Brahma, and they did not want to follow the instructions of Hiranyakashipu. So Hiranyakashipu cursed his 6th grandson, and he said that you will take birth in the next lifetime as the sons of Devaki, and you will be killed by your own father. And who was that father? Kalanemi in the next lifetime became Kamsa. So Kamsa, when he was killing the children of Devaki, he was actually killing his own children from a previous lifetime. This is the story. Okay. So anyway, what is this analogy here? These 6 sons of Marichi. So Marichi represents the mind, and these 6 things here, Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Madha, and Matsya, these are the 6 enemies of the mind. So these 6 children had to be killed. Okay, these 6 enemies of the mind had to be killed so that the Lord can appear. So who has gone and done the cleansing? It is Ananta Shesha. Ananta Shesha, isn't it? Balaram. And who represents Balaram is the spiritual master. The spiritual master is a representative of Balaram. So what the spiritual master does, he gives us the bhakti process, and by this bhakti process, we can purify our hearts, which is so contaminated. We can purify our minds, we can purify our hearts. So the spiritual master, he sows the seed of bhakti in our hearts. So just as our Balaram has gone and cleaned the place, and in the same way, the spiritual master gives us the process by which we can clean the mirror of our heart, and then the Lord can reside. The Lord is already residing in the heart of each one of us, isn't it? But we do not perceive him. The problem is we do not perceive him. So when we undertake the bhakti process under the guidance of a spiritual master, now we are able to perceive the presence of the heart in our Lord. Okay, so this is the analogy. This is the explanation given to us by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, who is a Acharya in our disciplic succession, and Srila Prabhupada mentioned this in this purport.
Mataji.
Yes.
So, so even though they were cursed by grandfather that your father will kill you, and the father kills them, so after that, do they go back to Godhead? to Krishna?
Yeah, we will see later how Krishna actually brings them back from the abode of Yamaraj. Actually, the description is that he brings them back from the abode of Yamaraj in the child form, and he brings them back to Devaki. It's not mentioned whether they went back to Godhead, but it mentions that Krishna brings them back for Devaki, and then Devaki feeds these Sadgarbhas her breast milk, and she's very happy to see her children.
So even though they were cursed, but it became blessings, right? It became in a way a blessing for them.
Yes,
Was
this
it
was a
correct to
curse
say?
that exactly it was a blessing in disguise. Correct.
Thank you, Hari.
Hare Krishna. Okay, we'll stop here. We'll continue in the next class. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mataji.
You're
Thank you,
welcome.
Mataji. Koti Koti Dandavat Pranam. Maitri Srinam Mataji ki jai. Hari Bol, Hari Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Okay. So I want to say that the month of Damodar or the month of Kartik is beginning here in this part of the world on the 9th of October. Please check your Vaishnava calendars to check when it is beginning in your country. It may be one day before or one day later, or it may be on the same day. So Kartik month is very, very dear to Lord Krishna. We light ghee lamps to Lord Damodar. Last year when we had the month of Damodar, we had a special class with the Gita students. This time what I will do is I will be sharing a link of the whole recording in the group. And if you have not attended our previous class, then please watch it so you can know how we can follow this month. It's very, very simple, nothing very complex, just lighting ghee lamps to Lord Damodar for 1 month. And the benefit of this is unimaginable. Okay, it's we get a lot of benefit for very little service that we do. Srila Prabhupada compares this like a store on sale. So sometimes the store may sell very expensive products, but at a very low price. So we can advance greatly for very, very small amount of devotional service. So therefore, I request you all to please follow the month of Damodar and see the recording to learn more. If you have any questions with regard to this, you can always write to me and we can discuss it. So 9th of October. Please be careful.
Mataji, can I ask you one question?
Yes.
So we can do as many times, right? The ghee lamp, or is it like designated at 1 or 2?
No,
We
you can do
as many.
see, there is no, in Bhakti, there is no limit, there is no maximum limit. You can do as many as you want. There is no maximum limit.
Okay,
So you can do as many
I
as
think in USA also, I was checking it yesterday, it's the 9th. Somebody told me the 5th, but I Googled it. This is 9th of October.
Okay, so in the US also it's on the 9th. Does anybody know when it starts in India?
Mataji will have to check the Vaishnav calendar.
Okay. So please check it up and share the date in the group, Tejal. Can you do that?
I think
Yeah,
it is on the
sure.
8th of October till 7th of November.
In India?
It's
Yeah.
8 October and 7th November. That's right.
Okay. So please do follow and light your ghee lamps to Lord Damodar.
It must be same for Canada as America then, the 9th.
Yes, it must be the same, but still you check your Vaishnava calendar. I will just show you how to check the Vaishnava calendar for those who are not aware.
Thank you.
Let me share the screen. So here you have vaishnavacalendar.com. You go to your Vaishnava calendar and you put your city here. So let's say India, or let's go to Canada. Which city are you in?
Edmonton.
Edmonton. Okay.
Yes.
So we go here. The page takes some time to download. Okay, here. So, okay, so Edmonton also, you see here, October 2022, here you can see 9th is Purnima, and it marks the beginning of the 4th month of Chaturmasya. So here for you also, it's on the 9th.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so you can check your location here on the Vaishnava calendar and follow accordingly.
Mataji, what can we do for Purnima? What should we do?
Well, if you're following Chaturmasya, then we fast from Urad Dal for this whole month of Damodar, and we light our ghee lamps and maximize our devotional service. We have to sing the Damodar Ashtakam at least once in a day. And there is no maximum limit. Chant as much as you can, engage in devotional service as much as you can, offer your food to Krishna, eat only prasad, minimize sinful activities as much as you can, bring it to zero. See, whatever we do in this month of Damodar, we get 1,000 times the reaction. So any sinful activity will bring 1,000 times the reaction, bad karma, and any devotional activity will give us 1,000 times more the benefit. So therefore, maximize devotional service and minimize nonsense as much as possible.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Anything else we need to discuss?
Yeah, Mataji, the hours of the classes. Is it ever going to go for 2 hours?
Oh, yes,
Or-
we are going to take a poll now. Okay, so the duration of the Krishna book class, maximum of 50 minutes, maximum of 90, or maximum of 120 minutes. So I will launch the poll. Please answer, and we will get the majority.
Please, I pray to everybody, put 120 minutes so we get more
No, you
hours.
can't force Mataji. You can't force us, okay?
No, we're not forcing. I'm requesting.
No, you
Please
please,
don't request us.
you please choose that which works for you, and we will go by the majority.
My thing for 2 hours, it's more like the mental thing. Like I want to be awake while I'm listening. So that's my key thing. It's not the minute 60 or 120. It's what we can be actually able to take in. And professionally being a teacher, I think there's only certain amount of time that really clicks in. Otherwise, we're just sitting there watching. So to me, in the mid would be nice, the 90 minutes. That's
Okay.
my thing, but I'm sorry if I got somebody on the wrong.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you. So 13 out of 16 have answered. 3 people are yet to answer. Okay, looks like not everyone is in front of their monitors. So anyway, the majority here is maximum of 90 minutes. I don't know if you can see the results.
No, we can't, Mataji.
Okay. Now, yes?
Yeah, now we can see.
Okay, so the winner is maximum of 90 minutes. 46% have chosen maximum of 90 minutes. So we will stick to this for the rest of our course. These will have a maximum of 90 minutes. Now, when there are shorter chapters, maybe we will finish it before 90 minutes. So then we just end it there. Okay, the idea is to do 1 chapter a day. If there are longer chapters, then we split it in 2 classes. Like today's chapter is longer one, so we will try and finish in the next class. Okay, but if there are shorter chapters, then we will finish it before time. So we will stick to option 2. Is that fine? I mean, that's what we are going to choose.
So Mataji, do we begin half an hour early or do we extend the time by half an hour?
No, we will stick to the current timing.
Okay, so we extend the class by half an hour.
Yes, we will begin at
Okay.
12 noon Chile time, and I think for you it's 8:30, is it?
8:30 IST, yes.
Yes.
So we'll extend the time and we'll not start early. Okay.
Exactly. Okay. All right. Anything else?
No, Mataji is so sad. We don't get to see you 120 minutes.
Oh, thank you so
I love
much.
this class. I love everything about this class. This is a beautiful class. If we had more hours with you, it would be so nice, na?
Yeah, but Krishna is the supreme controller, so we just accept his decisions, isn't it?
Maybe one day he'll
Mataji,
change.
when is next Ekadashi?
Ekadasi
After
is on the 5th, this part of the
On
world.
the 5th
Here
of
in Chile,
October.
it's on the 5th.
the next day after Dashera.
Oh, so the same day that the Kartik month is starting, we have Ekadashi, right?
The same day Kartik is starting what? I'm sorry.
No, sorry, I mean Damodar.
No,
No.
Damodar is starting on the 9th.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, got confused. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, because Ekadasi is the 11th day and Damodar is the beginning of the new month.
Okay. Yeah.
Mataji, my granddaughter wants to say hello to you.
Hi, how are you? Hare Krishna. What's your name?
Hare Krishna. What's your name?
What's that? Neha?
Meva. Meva.
Ah, okay. Welcome to our classes.
Take it.
Please bless us so that we can also be pure and innocent like you. Can you give us your blessings?
I love you.
I love you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
How old
Mataji.
are you?
How old are you?
3.
Oh, 3. Okay. You're not
It's a
that
gun.
small. You're a big girl, isn't it? You're getting
gun
into
नहीं करना उनको जाना बात.
Thank you.
all right. Okay. Thank you all very much for attending these classes. See you all next week. Krishna Valim. Hare Krishna.
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Pranam.
Thank you.